Hey guys, it's Monday night. It is the day after Collectacon Orlando. I had a fantastic time at the convention. I wanted to share a little bit about what I picked up, what I sold, what I learned from the convention. This was my second year going to Collectacon Orlando, and this year was by far the best. So I wanted to share some of the things that I picked up and something that could maybe help you when you go to Collectacon. So to lead off, I came into the convention with $300 in my pocket and 54 slabs in that slab case right there. I ended up leaving the convention with only 4 slabs remaining. All 50 of my Pokemon slabs sold. The only 4 that didn't sell were the only ones that weren't Pokemon. First and foremost, the health of the hobby kind of changed my outlook a little bit. I think as far as like the short to medium term health, obviously we're in a dip. I was worried that like some of the interest in Pokemon was starting to fade. But this Collectacon was significantly larger than last year, had significantly higher attendance, and Pokemon was all the rage. It was all anyone was buying. It's all anyone wanted to trade, talk about. And just to give you a little bit of a sample of how much larger this was than last year, last year we got there day one. We arrived at like 10:30. We were able to park, roll up, have no issues. This year we got right at opening at 10 o'clock, and the West Concourse lot, which is where the Collectacon is, was completely full, and we had to go park, halfway over Hell's Half Acre, and make our way over there. It was like a 20-minute walk or so. Huge convention space, bigger than the room that we had in last year, so many more attendees, and really it was just popping off the whole time. So I had a critical first 10 minutes to our show because I talked to Connor, Rock Pokemon, I got to meet him, and then immediately after that, I sold a very large chunk of what I brought with me, at least some of the higher end things, which included, a little bit happy, a little bit sad for me, the Perfect 10 Reds Challenge from Tag All-Stars that I pulled myself, graded myself, got it in a CGC Perfect 10. Last time I checked, it was a CGC Pop 2. I think it might be up to a Pop 3 right now. But I did sell it. It's the first known confirmed sale of the card. I sold it for like my floor price of like what I wanted, but still that price was even higher than a PSA 10. So that card sold for $500. That was included in a sale with a bunch of other slabs I had with me. So I want to say I sold like that and like 6 other lower end slabs. And within 10, minutes of the start of the show, I was already up 1K, and then I could really get to business. So there were some other like small individual sales, individual trades on day one. But as far as like wheeling and dealing, as far as big deals are concerned, that's the only big deal that I made that day. So I took that money and ran, and I went and I got a ton of awesome stuff. So let's show you our day one pickups. So this was number 1 on the list of things I really, really wanted to get. My first ever expedition pack with Feraligatr, who was the final evolution of my starter from Gold and Silver. This is something that has been a grail for me forever, been wanting to pick it up. And immediately after that sale, I knew that it was well within my means to pick it up. So I went and nabbed one. Next, I got this PSA 10 Dream League pack in the new graded pack case, which looks so much better than the old slabs. This one I got from Thrifty TCG, who was sharing a booth with Connor. I did a trade of a CGC 9 Charizard from Expedition, the non-holo, the one that only comes in non-holo. I did that in $50 and got this. After that, I headed over to one of the few sports tables that we saw and got this awesome Nikita Kucherov auto and a Braden Point patch rookie. Those of you who know me know I love Metal Universe hockey, as evidenced by the multiple blasters I've got, this Nikita Kucherov PMG. So I headed over to the Mealy Pops table and got a hobby box of this year's Metal Universe, which is great. I've never had a hobby box of it before. The hobby boxes are the only places that you can get the PMGs. And this hobby box happens to feature Braden Point from Tampa Bay Lightning, so it's extra special to have in my sealed collection. Up next, I had my silliest pickup of the convention, F1 Pole Position 64. I got this from Retro Rat Toys. I just want to shout out to them. Very cool booth. Very nice guy running it, and also good negotiator, so I was very happy with that. This is a nice cheap little pickup, complete inbox for only $30. In that first big deal I made, I picked up this Kingler PSA 10 from Vending Series 3, and then at just some random table, I got a PSA 8 Vending Series 3 Ponyta for, I think that was like 15 bucks. After that, I finally picked up a Mewtube from Shining Legends. This was one of the cards that was on my definitely want to buy list for the day, so glad I was able to get it for relatively cheap. I think it was listed at 100, and I ended up working them down to about 75 or 80. And the last pickup of day one, I got V-Star Universe. I actually got 2 of these boxes. This one I'm keeping sealed. The other one I ripped in the hotel room and got the gold Giratina, which I then sold the next day for more funds on day 2. So on day 2, I had a really fun strategy play that definitely paid off for me. So because the West Concourse parking was so full on day 1, we wanted to make sure to get there super early. So we pulled up at 9 o'clock, which was the time that the VIP people got to go in, but for the regular people like us, it wasn't until 10 o'clock. But we got there, we parked in West Concourse, still had about by the time we actually got to the doors, it was 45 minutes till the convention. And I just popped right next to the doors of the convention. I found a little spot to sit down, opened up my slab case, and opened up shop. So any of the passersby who wanted to trade or buy or whatever, they could come and I could be their first vendor table of the day. So that was especially cool for, folks who didn't have VIP passes and were just chomping at the bit to do something. And then that's when Mr. Vault came into play. So Mr. Vault, I followed him on here. He's only got 100 or 200 something followers, and I think he joined Instagram in January. But dude is legit as hell. Had a full operation up. He had a fanny pack just full of $100 bills and was rolling up to people saying, "Hey, I'm looking to buy collections. What do you got?" So I helped facilitate a deal with him and a new friend I made at the con, American Spice. And he got to sell half of his raw collection for $500 or something like that. And then I had, at this point, I had about half of my slabs left. So did a deal with him, and probably my favorite, the most fun part of the convention. Me and Mr. Vault came to a little bit of an impasse on the price of the slabs. I wanted to get $550 out of it. He wanted $525. And so we were both just holding firm. So we decided to put it to a coin flip. But none of us had a coin. So I had my Sam's Club card available. So the face of the Sam's Club card was $550. The back was $525. And thankfully, the Sam's Club card went face up. And so I got $550 out of that deal. So because of that, and again, this is before I even walk through the convention doors for day 2, I'm once again starting off the day in a great position to get the things that I want and still be up. So let's take a look at what I got on day 2. So first I hopped over to Rock Pokemon's booth and then grabbed this 25th anniversary collection box. Believe it or not, considering how much Japanese I've bought over the years, this one just kind of passed me by, so I never had one of these in my sealed collection, so happy to have it now. Also happy to actually finally meet Rock Pokemon in person. This was my first time meeting someone from the internet that I exclusively knew from the internet in person, and Connor, just as awesome in person as online, so great to have a good friend like that. Next, I went back over to the Mealy Pop stand and got this Topps Chrome F1 from 2021, the hobby box. This is Yuki Tsunoda's rookie year, so my boy Yuki, he's my Formula One PC. So very happy to not only have a Topps Chrome hobby box sealed, but to have it be his rookie year. And my last pickup of the day came from Pokenomics. So this was a Masaki Promo Alakazam in a PSA 7. It is a really nice PSA 7. No real discernible defects on the front or back. So I may want to do this as a regrade with a minimum grade of 8, because I think it could bump up. Gorgeous looking card. We got a double swirl right over his shoulder, and then a little portion of a swirl in that bottom right corner. Incredible card. Obviously iconic art. One that I've really wanted in my collection for a really long time. So it's very nice to actually get this one. At that point, I pretty much thought my convention was done, but then I headed over to 305 Supreme's booth, and they were buying a bunch of slabs, and I had 11 Pokemon slabs left, and they bought all of them. So pretty reasonable price. It was all kind of I don't want to say garbage tier slabs, but very low end stuff that they would maybe only get $20 out of a piece. So I took I think $14.50 per slab on that, so good reasonable price for stuff I wouldn't be able to move otherwise. And that was every remaining Pokemon slab I had. So in the end, I walked away with all that insanely dope stuff that I showed you throughout the video, and $800 in my pocket. So I was up $500 in addition to being up multiple grails. So really great show for me. So if I had to have any major takeaways from the convention, as far as what I did that worked, what I would like to do, etc. So I comped everything before I got there. You should always do that for a convention. If you're bringing stuff to sell or trade, make sure you have your comps written out on your Nopes app, ready to go. So I had all my comps. Also, I was willing to do bulk deals and willing to do bulk deals at 70% of comps. If you want to move slabs, that's kind of what you got to do. Because I was thinking about, yeah, I mean, I got 70% of what I would normally on like a Slab Mania, but I sold every single Pokemon card I had. That never happens at Slab Mania. If I were to try to do that on eBay, it would take forever and I'd still have to deal with like 12% eBay fees anyway. So I was able to humble myself, take a lower price, but really get out of there like on top. So comp your stuff. Go for lower than comps, do bulk deals, have a general idea of what you want to buy and try to stick to that. Because I really went into this, I kind of manifested like, I want that Mewtwo, I want an Expedition Pack, I want the Formula One hobby box. Got all of those and got a ton of other stuff that's also on my list of things that I've like wanted for a really long time. That Masaki promo, I wasn't sure I was ever going to get that. And so to get it in a 7 that looks that amazing, I mean, like that 7 practically looks like an 8 or a 9. So really happy with that. And also like just get fun shit that you enjoy, like the F1 pole position Nintendo 64 game. That's a great pickup. It's a cool little collection piece. It's cheap. It's something I love. So, collect what you love, display what you love, and go after the things that you enjoy at the cons. And last but not least, don't be afraid to turn the hallway in front of the convention center into a little bazaar, because that was really, really great for me. And also people, they just love that, right? It's like, especially if you're just hanging out there with 30 minutes and nothing to do until those con doors open, you have a little mini convention ahead of time, and that was super fun. So my only, I wouldn't say regret, but slight disappointment was that trade night wasn't really popping off. There was a trade night, like a sponsored trade night in Dave & Buster's, but there was a cover charge. The vibe was kind of off. I didn't stay at the main hotel, like the Hyatt Regency, so there might have been stuff that went on in the wee hours of the morning there that I didn't see. But I wasn't going to pay $400 for one night in a hotel. But yeah, it was a good time, and I really can't wait to do it again next year. Now that I know what works, I'm definitely going in with like double that game plan for next year. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from this, and I will see you next Collectacon.